G'day, and welcome to Cam's Corner. Today, we need to have a serious, no-nonsense chat about some of the absolute sacred cows that have been grazing in the safety industry for far too long. And I'm starting with a big one, the DuPont-Bradley curve. If you've spent more than 5 minutes in a corporate boardroom or a leadership safety workshop, you've seen this thing slid onto a screen. It's presented like some holy map of cultural maturity. Now, the model tells us we move from reactive to dependent, then independent, and finally the promised land of interdependent, where everyone looks out for each other. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Warm, fuzzy, and completely divorced from the messy reality of physical work. The problem is, categorizing safety culture this way completely ignores actual systemic risk. It assumes that if we just fix the worker's attitude, the injuries will stop. Let's be straight. The Bradley curve keeps the focus squarely on individual behavior. It's the classic careless worker myth, repackaged in pretty pastel arrows. It completely lets the organization off the hook for poor design, inadequate gear, and crazy schedules. When a machine fails or a system breaks down, it's rarely because someone decided to be independent or dependent on that day. It's because the system itself was designed with massive blind spots. This brings us to the next load of nonsense, corporate slogans. Let's talk about safety first. We put it on posters, we print it on hard hats, we write it in our core values. But let me ask you, what happens the second the production line stops? What happens when a project is running 3 weeks late and costing $1 million a day? Safety first evaporates faster than water on a hot tin roof. It's an administrative platitude that collapses under the weight of real-world operational pressure. And then we have its cousin, zero harm. Now, nobody wants anyone to get hurt at work, obviously. But when you make zero harm an absolute expectation rather than a noble aspiration, you create a very dangerous beast. You drive reporting underground. If a team is one minor incident away from losing their safety bonus or breaking a consecutive day record, do you think they're going to report that minor cut or near miss? No way. They'll patch it up, hide it, and keep quiet. I've seen it 100 times in my investigations. When management reacts defensively to bad news, or when there's absolute silence after a close call, it sends a loud and clear message to the front line. Don't bring us problems. That silence creates a culture of cover-ups, and that's exactly how catastrophic failures catch organizations completely by surprise. So, what's the alternative? Well, we have to swap the slogans for real systems thinking. And that's where the incident cause analysis method, ICAM, comes in. Instead of asking who did it and pointing fingers, ICAM forces us to look at the latent conditions. We start at the end, the failed defenses, and we build our way back up to the organizational factors. It's about designing a system that is error-tolerant, because guess what? Humans make mistakes. We also need to understand the difference between work as intended and work as done. Work as intended is the beautiful, perfect procedure written by someone in an air-conditioned office who has never held a spanner. Work as done is how the guys on the ground actually get the job finished when the correct tool is missing, the parts are late, and the sun is beating down at 40 degrees. Risk is traded every single day in normal operations, just to keep the business moving. My final call to safety leaders out there is simple. Stop debating letters in job titles. Stop arguing whether you're WHS or HSE. And stop printing shiny posters. Focus on critical control management. Focus on whether your defenses actually exist and work on the ground. Let's make our workplaces safer by understanding how the work is really done, rather than wishing for a perfect world that doesn't exist. Thanks for listening to Cam's Corner, and keep asking why until you find the system behind the mistake.